Chapter 11. The days following the discovery of her pregnancy were filled with a mixture of fear and determination. Serena sat in her small apartment, trying to reconcile the reality of her situation. She was newly separated, without the financial support of the Ashcroft family, and now carrying a child. The road ahead looked long and difficult. Fear was the most constant companion during those early days. Fear of not being able to provide enough. Fear of being judged. Fear of raising a child without a father, especially one as powerful and influential as Damien Ashcroft. She knew that if Damien found out, there would likely be legal battles, attempts to claim custody, and involvement from people who had already shown they could not be trusted. She thought often of Damien, not with love, exactly, but with a quiet sadness. He had been so quick to believe the worst of her. Even now, she could not be certain how he would react to the news. Would he demand the child to secure an heir? Would he believe she had kept it from him out of spite? Or would he feel nothing at all? The unknown was the scariest part. Naomi visited often, offering support and practical advice. When Serena told her the news, Naomi had been shocked, but her first reaction was to place a comforting hand on Serena's shoulder. "You don't have to decide everything today," Naomi said gently. "But whatever you choose, I am here. You are not alone in this." Serena appreciated it more than words could say. She knew Naomi would never judge her, and would stand by her no matter what happened. But ultimately, the decision was hers alone. In the quiet hours of the night, Serena would rest her hand over her stomach and think about the future. She did not have wealth or influence, but she had intelligence, resilience, and a fierce desire to protect this new life growing within her. She had learned from a young age how to work hard, how to adapt, how to survive even when things seemed impossible. Slowly, the fear began to mix with something else, a quiet resolve. She would not let this baby grow up in the shadow of lies or suspicion. She would give them honesty, love, and a home where they were truly valued, things she had rarely felt in the Ashcroft estate. Chapter 12. Naomi Hale was the kind of friend who showed up not just with words, but with action. Within days of learning Serena's situation, she began putting practical plans in motion. First, she helped Serena find a doctor, a woman known for discretion and respect for her patients' wishes, far removed from the elite medical circles that served the Ashcroft family. Then, she helped Serena secure better, more stable employment leads, using her own professional network without revealing Serena's past connection to Damien. "You do not need to use his name to get ahead," Naomi told her firmly. "Your skills are more than enough on their own." She also offered financial assistance, though Serena was hesitant to accept it. "I have savings," Serena said, shaking her head. "I will find work. I want to do this on my own." "I know you do," Naomi replied with a smile. "But think of it as a loan. Pay me back when you are established. Right now, focus on your health and finding a way forward. There is no shame in accepting help from those who care about you." Reluctantly, Serena agreed. It eased some of the immediate pressure, allowing her to focus on finding suitable work rather than worrying about immediate rent and bills. Naomi also helped Serena think through the risks of staying in the city where Damien's influence was strongest. "He has eyes and ears everywhere," Naomi warned. "Vivian and Arthur especially would love any chance to find something they can use against you. Perhaps it would be wiser to move further away for a while, until the baby is born, until things settle." Serena considered it. Leaving would mean starting completely over in a new place, but it would also mean safety and privacy. After much thought, she agreed. Together, they began researching smaller cities a few hours away, places where Serena's skills would be in demand, where the cost of living was lower, and where she could truly be anonymous if she chose. Chapter 13. The decision was never truly in doubt for Serena, even in her moments of greatest fear. From the moment she saw those two lines, a fierce protective instinct awoke within her, stronger than any doubt, stronger than any hardship she imagined she might face. But it was still a decision she needed to affirm fully, without feeling pressured or judged. One quiet evening, sitting by the window of her apartment as the sun set, Serena thought back to her own childhood. Her parents had been loving but modest, and they had taught her that while life was difficult sometimes, it was also precious. She remembered the warmth of their home, the way they had encouraged her intelligence and independence. She wanted that same life for her child. She thought of the alternative: telling Damien, allowing him into the picture, possibly having to fight for custody or raise her child in the midst of his cold, controlled world. She imagined the influence Vivian and Arthur might try to exert over a child of Damien's bloodline, and her resolve hardened. This child would be raised in truth, not in the shadow of manipulation. They would know love and warmth, not distance and suspicion. They would be taught that their worth was not measured by money or status, but by their character. She placed her hand over her stomach and spoke softly into the quiet room. "I don't know exactly what the future holds. But I promise you this: I will do everything in my power to keep you safe, to love you, and to give you the best life I possibly can. You will never feel unwanted or unvalued." The decision was made. She would keep the baby. She would raise them as her own, under her maiden name, Quinn. She would leave the past behind, move away, and build a new life where neither Damien nor anyone else could hurt her or her child. Chapter 14. Before making the move, Serena began actively searching for employment. She had a degree in business administration and finance, along with years of observing and learning how large corporations operated from the inside, knowledge that was far more valuable than she perhaps realized at first. But she faced challenges. Without the recommendation of the Ashcroft name, and being a woman who was now visibly pregnant, many employers were hesitant. They saw a potential liability rather than the skilled, intelligent worker she was. There were many interviews where she saw the moment the interviewer noticed her condition, their enthusiasm cooling immediately. There were polite rejections, vague promises to keep her resume on file, and moments when Serena felt frustration welling up inside her. But she did not give up. She revised her resume to focus entirely on her skills, her education, and her natural aptitude for strategy and numbers. She emphasized her ability to work hard, her attention to detail, and her dedication to excellence. Finally, after weeks of searching, she found an opportunity in the city of Harlow, a smaller but growing business hub, several hours away. It was a mid-sized firm specializing in financial consulting and market analysis, looking for someone with fresh eyes and strong analytical skills. The interviewer was a man named Mr. Hale, no relation to Naomi, who asked her fair, challenging questions, focusing entirely on her abilities rather than her personal circumstances. Serena answered with confidence, drawing on everything she had learned during her marriage, from the way businesses were structured to how market trends could be identified and leveraged. When the interview was finished, Mr. Hale nodded thoughtfully. You have a sharp mind, Ms. Quinn. You see things others often miss. While we usually prefer candidates who can start immediately, I believe your perspective is valuable. We are willing to wait until you are ready to return after your child is born, provided you remain in contact and continue developing your understanding of our industry. It was not the highest paying position in the world, but it was honest work, respectful, and offered the stability she needed. Serena accepted gratefully. Chapter 15. Serena moved to Harlow during her second trimester. The apartment she rented was small and simple, much like the one she had left behind, but it was affordable and in a safe, quiet neighborhood. It was also far enough away from Damien's world that she felt a measure of safety and privacy. The beginning was difficult. There were days when she felt overwhelmed by everything: the physical changes of pregnancy, the financial pressure, the loneliness of being in a new place with only Naomi to visit occasionally. She missed the comfort of familiarity, even if she had not always been happy there. But she also found a strange sense of peace. For the first time, her days were entirely her own. She could set her own schedule, eat what she wanted, decorate her space exactly how she liked, and no one judged her or questioned her choices. She spent her days reading, studying market trends, building her knowledge and skills so she would be fully prepared when she started her new job. She kept her profile low, making sure no trace of her connection to Damien Ashcroft could be found online or through local records. She was simply Serena Quinn, a young woman expecting a child, looking to build a life. As her pregnancy progressed, her focus shifted more and more toward the baby growing inside her. She began buying small items: simple clothes, soft blankets, books to read aloud. She created a warm, cozy corner in her apartment, imagining the life they would share. She thought of Damien rarely now, though sometimes, when she looked in the mirror and saw her changing shape, she wondered if he ever thought of her. She imagined him in his large estate, surrounded by business and the people who surrounded him, perhaps having already put their brief marriage completely behind him. It was better that way, she told herself.